Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and today I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris-Anne, and I will be reading for Monday, July 12th, 2021. And as always, my intention is to know whatever it is that we need to know to heal our souls. And of course, guidance for the day, it can be one and the same, right? Every day is a good day for healing our souls. That's why we're here on earth, at least that's what I believe. So we can get all clear and heal and clear and healed. All healed up and clear. And then live the rest of our lives in a lot of love and happiness. But now that I've said that, that doesn't mean that when we're having challenging times, that doesn't mean that there's anything at all wrong with us or anything that is, innately unclear. It's just that life isn't perfect on earth. So don't take anything personally when things don't go right, or the way that we want. It's like, who was the wise man? Was it Lao Tzu or was it Confucius? Who said, maybe it was a woman, who said the wise man has no preferences? Okay, so July 12th, 2021. All right. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords reversed, flanked by the Ace of Wands straight up, and the Nine of Cups reversed is our theme. Okay, so with the Nine of Cups reversed, that does have us in that realm of not having everything that we want, but sometimes it's just that our wish was a little unrealistic, and it's mirroring a place inside where we haven't totally opened up to it yet. And that might be because we're not walking away from betrayal type situations. Now, when it comes to relationships, when we're betrayed, at least in my experience, it's because it's mirroring a place where we're betraying the best in ourselves. And that's because we don't know the best in ourselves yet completely. And we need other people who are like-minded and who can bring in a brand new beginning, a brand new start to mirror us. Now, sometimes with this Ten of Swords, when it's reversed, it can be a little bit of just a temporary situation where things are turning around. But because it's coupled here, because our theme is the Nine of Cups reversed, I don't really feel like it's a lot. It may be for some of you. Maybe you didn't get what you wanted. Here's what I'm getting from lots of us. When it comes to relationship, maybe we didn't get what we wanted, but in hindsight, it was a really good thing because we weren't able to walk away yet from it ourselves. And then later on, we realize, oh, wait a minute. This is for my highest good that this person's no longer in my life, because maybe they left us and went in a different direction and we're kind of hanging loose, not having closure and not having any idea that it's totally over. And maybe it's not. That's the other thing too. Maybe it's not. You know what? You guys are going to crack up, but this is reminding me of a time. Now, it wasn't funny ha-ha when it happened, but these cards are reminding me of a time when years and years and years ago, well, mid-90s, I used to do massage for a living. And it was in a beautiful area in Redondo Beach where at least I could, go outside in between clients and be on this balcony overlooking the ocean and get some fresh air and clear out. But I was learning my limits at the time. I didn't know how to say no completely, and I would just let them book me back to back, like 5 people back to back, and I was learning how to say no. I mean, I was learning the hard way how to say no. I guess I was so happy for the work, and because I'd made my transition from like personal training, fitness, having a fitness business into massage and like a deeper type of what I thought was healing. But I was learning, because my life path has been one to learn to stand up for myself and to set boundaries with other people and still love them and love myself through it. And most of all, say no. Because they didn't know that I wasn't like Superwoman that couldn't really do all that, right? And neither did I. I had to find out. And when you come from a fitness background, you do feel like you're stronger than you really are. I mean, you can go through phases where you learn your strength and you learn your limits. So anyway, in my 40s, I really had to learn those limits. And so what happened was, I remember finishing, I don't even know if I was finishing the last one, but I was finishing one. And what happened was, is I went out on that balcony and overlooked the ocean and just went, oh, dear God, please make my life easier. I can't keep doing this, And I was so grateful for, seeing the birds and the little sandpipers along the shore, and just so grateful for the beauty that I was in, but my body was just not having it. I couldn't do it anymore. My neck was killing me and lower back, and it didn't seem to matter what positions that I'd been trained in to do the massage. It just wasn't, you just can't do that many in one day. At least not when you're 40 something. So I finished, got home, and that night my fiance decided to leave, saying, he didn't want to be with me anymore, but he wouldn't give the reason why, and he just left. So in hindsight, I mean, that was really, really painful for me to go through, and it took me a really long time to let go. But then what happened later on, I just started laughing. I mean, all the time I would just be laughing because it was the best thing in my life that we didn't stay together. And I had to keep going, had to keep having these disappointments in relationship with him. And then the greater understanding that we weren't meant to be together. He was meant to be back with his ex-wife and his children that they had gone through a divorce, but he was meant to be back with her, and that was actually a really beautiful thing. So later on in hindsight, I really have to laugh at it. I have to laugh at the fact that I stood over that balcony, asking the universe to make my life easier, and then he leaves. And my life did get easier because it was no longer all convoluted with a bunch of mixed up, confusing energies where it just wasn't right. It wasn't the right thing, to be. And it was a burden on me, actually. So, anyway, long story short, that's it. Or actually, no, long story long, that's it. So if anyone's going through anything like that, my heart goes out to you. But I love having this Ace of Wands at the end because this shows a new beginning that comes through after going through the pain of having, having some type of a loss, a deep, heartfelt loss, and learning how to love yourself more. When the Nine of Cups comes through reversed, it's a time to learn how to let go, and especially anything that was, like not for you on your path, and especially to let go of any type of self-hatred if that's coming up. If you're making yourself responsible for the problem, what I did, what helped me the most was just to sobbed my heart out for, as long as it took. And I didn't question it, and I didn't have to make anybody wrong about it. I just, you just feel the pain and you move on. Now, sometimes, let's explore this in another direction. Like, what if this card is about overindulgence? What if this card's about addictions that you can't let go of, that you haven't been able to let go of yet? Because there is that possibility with these two cards as combination. Because the Cups is all about liquids and foods and everything that you take in. And the Ten of Swords coming through reversed can have you like on a, well, let's see, let me grab the traditional Rider-Waite so you can see. Can have you on a bed of nails where you've kind of stabbed yourself in the back and you have to get up. So if that's the case, excuse me. If that's the case, best thing that you can do is just to meet the pain that it's causing. Meet the pain in your body that the addiction is causing. No matter what it is, it can be a little too much sugar, a little too much salt. It can be alcohol. It can be drinks that aren't healthy. There's a lot of drinks out there that are really toxic. And I've learned that the hard way. Like I bought once some, what was it called? Propel or something like that, because it has electrolytes in it. I drank, I think, 3 sips of it, and I got a migraine. And I'm like, oh my goodness! Look at the ingredients. What's in there? And it was just like Splenda kind of something or other, I guess. And didn't realize what I had in my hand, and just thought, wow, okay, this is amazing. It took a lot of regular water and I think overnight to clear out. But I learned the hard way, at least for me, whatever chemicals were in that awful drink, saying that it's something healthy to replace electrolytes, wow, I sure learned a lesson. I mean, obviously some type of an allergic reaction to whatever it is in there, but anyhow, that's the thing. We have to read all the labels nowadays, unless it's something we've made on our own and we know exactly what's in it. So, learning to eat that way, where you know exactly what's going into your body, can be a valuable lesson. And it can prevent, with this combo here, it can prevent a physical illness. Because when the Nine of Cups is reversed, we can't rely on what we've been doing in the past. There's something about not being able to rely on what we've been taking in, receiving, and being with. There's a lack of fulfillment because something was wrong. So, it's no longer the good life, and it's no longer happiness and wishes granted. It's something's gone wrong in the emotional or physical body realm, because Cups and Pentacles can definitely be everything to do with the body. Swords are more about the mind, of course, and then Wands have to do with our movement and our spiritual essence. But I think it's all spiritual. But anyway, with this combination here, back to this Ten of Swords reversed, I'm feeling like sometimes when this card comes through, and especially in this combination here, it can be just like that situation I told you about, that drink, Propel. That's what it was. And I'm thinking Gatorade is probably just as bad, if not worse. I mean, if things are green or blue, how can that be healthy? My God. So I knew about Gatorade, but I never knew about this other Propel. So I learned the hard way. And so I had some victory over this awful situation. And then if I go back to my, relationship issue back in the 90s, I actually did have some victory over the situation because I didn't realize that being in that relationship was making my life harder than it needed to be. So sometimes this card can bring in that element of courage. You get up off your back and you don't take it anymore. And it can be oftentimes a card of, seeking. Just like I said, I was hanging out on that balcony going, "Dear God, please make my life easier." Not knowing what the end result of that would be, but I'm, I did get that higher assistance that I was asking for, which is sometimes the meaning when the Ten of Swords is reversed. So, most of all, whatever it is that any of us may go through at any time, I think that the important thing to remember here is that when there's a lack of fulfillment, it's also a way to find real fulfillment. Because we kind of have to work ourselves out of those boxes, that we put ourselves in. When, you learn what you really want based on having what you don't want. You just do. That's the nature of this dualistic, plane of existence that we're on. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. So the message I want to leave you with in summary here is when these painful situations happen, just keep asking for what you really want. And at some point, you will be able to walk away and you will be done. It's just like that poem, The Hole in the Sidewalk. There's a Hole in My Sidewalk poem by Portia Nelson. I've posted it in my community section many times. I basically, well, here, hold on. Maybe I can find it. I think, let's see if it's close by. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. I'll read it again. And those of you who've know this poem deeply and very well, just fast forward. Okay, so there's a hole in my sidewalk, 5 short chapters. Okay, first chapter is, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes me forever to find my way out. So we're basically moving through the levels of self-responsibility here. Second chapter, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in this same place, but it's not my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit, but my eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault, and I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. Right? That's how it goes. That's what this Ten of Swords is like when it's upright, when it's done. And then you're free at that point to find your new fulfillment. And then we have a brand new beginning. Brand new beginning. That's what the Ace of Swords is, Ace of Wands is all about. It's a brand new beginning. It's action. It is usually good news that comes in. It's the just go for it card, right? And I wish that for all of you. and I wish for you that it wasn't as painful as it was for me. But you know what? You get the lesson. That's how life works. It's like you keep doing it. You keep banging your head against the wall in relationships until they're over. And you're not done until you're done. But when you're done, man, you're done. When you're done, you're done. Right? And then you come back home to yourself and you love yourself in a whole new way because you have found your buried treasure within. And there is no reason whatsoever to be in anything less than a loving relationship. And if it's not with someone else, at least it'll be with yourself. And that's the basis for having a deeply loving relationship in the first place. Everything is an inside job. If you've been rejected, you best not reject yourself. If you've been betrayed, you best not betray yourself. Right? If you've been controlled by someone else, then you best not let them control you, and then you do have to control yourself in order to get yourself, unhooked from a relationship like that. So, okay, well, that's it. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. Take good care. Bye.